Welcome to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever seen a horse who could talk? With your host, Louisa Barton, who really wants to be a famous rider. She really loves to ride fast. Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Truth is, I have horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton in the studio with my co-host Dancing Pete Rodda, who is still on crutches but recovering.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. We have a great lineup for you today. We've got lots of news and lots of events that all happened over about the past week or so that we're going to kind of get you up to date on the show. We also have Dr. Adam Cayot telling you why. Many good reasons that you would like to be a vet.
Because we need a lot
lot
more vets right now.
We do. We need a lot of large animal vets, really, especially. So there's lots of good reasons, but that's probably the most important one.
Oh, yeah.
That it's definitely been more enticing to be a small animal vet. And so we really want to encourage you all the rewarding parts of being a large animal vet.
That's what I wanted to do when I went to college.
That's what I wanted to do when I was 3, was be a vet. So
I just didn't have the grades. Maybe they'll let me in now.
I think I had too big of a soft heart. I'd have cried too much when people were upset, so I would have been absolutely useless. But I know there's a lot of people out there that would be fantastic, and it's a wonderful. Dr. Cayot shared with us a lot about how rewarding that is. We also have a fantastic top U.S. rider here with us. We're very excited to have on the show, Callan Solem. She's a very, very, very busy lady, so we're very grateful and honoured to have a rider of this calibre here in the studio. We had a chance to meet her at HITS, and ever since I met her and heard her speak, I wanted her on the show, but she's been so busy, so we're very grateful that she's found time to come in and see us, and we're going to talk a little bit about her career.
Yay.
And past and future, present, and all the good stuff in between. So but let's talk about some of the excitement that's gone on over this past week or so. Very exciting. This is very exciting because this is the first time ever in the history of the Marion County School Board that a horse has been in the auditorium for a board meeting, and a very patient horse, because there was an issue beforehand that were about 40 plus people actually in the boardroom who were each having 3 to 5 minutes to speak. And when we arrived and I saw the massive line going in, which was very unusual for school board meetings, I thought, oh no, they know a horse is coming. They're all here to see the horse, but they weren't. They were there for another issue completely. But we did have Magic, the miniature therapy horse, in the school board auditorium for them to pass unanimously, all say, aye, to equine education in Marion County Public Schools. For all ages.
And I heard there was no nays except for
There were
Magic.
no nays except Magic, yes. And actually our school board superintendent said that. Does anyone say nay? And then she's got a great sense of humor. Only Magic. But yes, so really incredible. That's a big deal in Marion County, the horse capital of the world. Yes, we need a round
Louisa.
of applause. Why don't we have like some... Woo. We need some rounds of applause, don't we, Sounds?
Go Louisa and
The
Gentle
CEP's
Carousel.
Equine Initiative, presented by Piranha, made all of this possible. Without them, we would not be here, and it's a legacy for Piranha, indeed, to be the presenting sponsor of an initiative that's worked for the last 2 years with the school board and with the school system. A number of people within the school system have been a huge key part of this. So this hats off to everybody who's worked together, including Tamara, my boss, who patiently sat at the school board meeting with me for 2.5 hours while we listened to each person, and then the horse came in, and it was a great way to round out a very long board meeting because everybody loved her being there. And it was very special. And we think equine education in the schools here is so important because we find 1 in about 28 children in Marion County has ever touched a horse. And that feels wrong because we feel like it should be the other way around. We feel like 1 in 28 should have never touched a horse. Yes. So we feel like it's kind of backwards, but we laughed, and I didn't know that I had to do a presentation that evening, and I actually had to do a presentation to the board.
It takes so much to get a word out of you, so
I have to have
sure
a written
you were
script,
nervous.
I was a wreck. But I actually called it mucking to media because I think that's very true. There are jobs in everything from mucking, and not to make fun of mucking, because I know lots of people who started out mucking stalls who are now CEOs of major companies. So just because you start out,
lots of horse trainers that mucked out a lot of stalls.
Yes, sometimes there's a lot of mucking, and it's okay because you work your way up. And listen, even people who are mucking are getting paid pretty well these days. So, mucking to media, which covers everything in between from, grooming, training, boarding. Whether you want to do film, whether you want to produce shows, whether you want to do photography, whether you want to do website work, social media, there's all those pieces, but it's still better if you know about horses and you've met horses to be in that industry. So we just think this is so important. We think it's a massive milestone and a big legacy for the CEP's Equine Initiative because it's huge. And we're really excited. We've already got horses going to schools this Friday as one of our first trips.
Woohoo! Are you going?
So, of course.
Of course.
Of course. So yes, that's a really big deal. We're really excited about that. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the ride, run,
roll, relay.
Which
we didn't get signed up for.
Yes, we didn't get signed up for it. So Pete had the splits problem, so he couldn't run, and then I wasn't supposed to ride because of my accident in January. So we were down to really just Isaac, but Isaac was there, and actually I was there also for a little while just so I could tell Bree hello and well done and get a chair massage.
So
because
somebody ran, somebody rode, and somebody rolled on their dirt bike.
Yeah, and it was fantastic, and it was an exciting event. It was at the Florida Horse Park, who are a wonderful partner of ours, and we love working with Jason Reynolds and his team, Kim Vanderwalt, and what a beautiful location to have it, and what a beautiful day it was. It was actually a little bit windy because we were going to drone it, but we couldn't because it was too windy for droning. But it was a great event, and there was a lot of really spirited people that were really happy about the whole thing and very excited. You could tell. I ran into a friend of mine, Debbie Bonin Clark, who was there competing, and it was just a lot of fun. I mean, there was a real competitive, and I think there was one lady there, if I'm correct, and Isaac can correct me if I remember. I think there was one lady who did all 3.
Wow.
I think she did. Yep, she did. Thumbs up from Isaac, the producer over there. There was one lady who did do all 3. She did the bicycling, the horse riding, and the running. So that's brave. But it was really a great event and a great fundraiser for the Greenway Trail Fund, which keeps our beautiful greenways so that we can ride on them and enjoy them. And the Greenway volunteers are fantastic. And this, this is good. Look at this.
This looks professional.
This looks like Isaac did it. Yeah. Look at this. Oh no, that's fantastic. He was cycling. We would have won. Like we would have won. Look how fast he's cycling. We would have won. We would have won. He would have been the one.
I don't know. I would have been the weak link on the run if I was able to run.
If you were able to run, you would have been the weak link, maybe. Yeah. So, but it was a great event, and hats off to Bree and all her efforts, to bring all this together. And we're going to make her a nice little recap. Isaac's going to put a few things together. We're going to make her a nice little recap to keep. This
is great.
I know it is. I feel like I'm riding.
This would be a great thing to have for when you go trail riding, to say, here's the path so you know it.
I know. Look at that. That's phenomenal. It really is. It's phenomenal. So yeah, well done, Bree. A great event, and we'll be getting that recap together for you. The Ocala Farm Ministry also this weekend was another wonderful event. They had Easter for the farm ministry kids. So the kids that go to the farm ministry are mostly majority are children of the farm workers that work in all the farms here in Ocala, and they got a chance to see the Easter Bunny, which was wonderful. The Easter Bunny visited, and then Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy horses visited as well.
Wow.
And they brought Circus, who I had never met before. One of theirs. They have 23. And I had never met Circus before, and Circus is a little appy. And what a cute little, I love her. I got the lean in and the cuddle. And every child had to say something kind to put a non-toxic paint spot on the horse, and then I gave them a paper towel so they could clean the paint off themselves. But many of them wanted to go again so they could say a kind thing again.
Wow.
Which was really nice, and a lot of them had amazingly wonderful kind things to say, and one stopped and said, I want to say my mum and dad are the best mum and dad in the world, which was so sweet. But lots of them had great kind stuff to say, and this little horse was just so patient and so kind. And he ended up quite spotty by the time they were more spotty than normal, I should say.
Did you do it?
No, actually.
Oh,
I should have, right? No. But anyway, it was a lovely Easter celebration for them at the Farm Ministry, and really, really enjoyable, and well done, Debbie and George, for all the efforts.
Yeah,
and
I was
everything
talking to Debbie. We need to get them on with Magic.
Magic in the studio.
In the studio, because I got to talk to Deb, and she was telling me all cool stories about the dogs and stuff. Yep.
Yeah, their Barema dogs are amazing. They guard the horses and everything. So wonderful. Well done to them. And actually, we were going to give you a little Equine Expo recap, but we just ran out of time because Pete talks too much. So we'll have that on the last segment.
Yeah, that's my fault, guys.
We'll put that in the last segment at the end of the show. Coming back with Dr. Adam Cayot. He's talking about why you should be a large animal veterinarian. Stay with us, and then we'll have Callan with us, which will be fantastic.
Yay.
This portion of the show is presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And our TV broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Supporting sponsors are DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip LLC, Piranha, Florida HVAC Services, Crystal Cryo, Ocala Dog Ranch, and The Drinking Post. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system, powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
Experience the bluegrass. Step into the Elwood Hotel and Suites, situated in the heart of Lexington. Elwood is a unique yet familiar place, your home base to explore, minutes from the University of Kentucky and the best distilleries on the Bourbon Trail. Only a short drive from horse country and from the iconic Keeneland racetrack. Full of warm, natural light, Elwood rooms are inviting, a space to retreat, rewind and relax. From spacious rooms to extended stay suites. Each room is unique, just like you. Don't miss a beat in your fitness routine either, and your furry friend is welcome too. Elwood has cozy beds, yummy treats, and snuggles too. Elwood is more than a landing place. It's a tribute to a contemporary southern lifestyle, a delicious place to refuel and to launch your Lexington adventure. Book your stay at theelwoodhotel.com and like them on Facebook now. Settle in at Elwood and begin generating memories in the heart of the bluegrass. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
I'm Louisa Barton for Equus Television and the Horse Talk Show, here with Dr. Adam Cayot from Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And I'm going to ask Dr. Cayot a few questions about, first of all, why he decided to be a veterinarian, and then also all the benefits there are to being a large animal vet. Dr. Cayot, thank you for being with us in person, the real thing.
That's right, instead of being on the telephone.
You did your hair for it too.
Just for the show. You got it.
Tell me a little bit about what it was. I know you loved horses and large animals growing up, and you wanted to be a veterinarian. Share with us a little bit what kind of made you make the decision, and then why large animal, not small?
Right. Well, one of the things that drew me to the profession were I grew up on a 20-acre farm, and we had cattle and we had sheep, and somehow I got the horse bug. And so I grew up showing horses. I did a little 4-H stuff in the beginning, and then I went on to show hunters and jumpers for a long time. And as I was doing this, I said, the only people that seem to make a good living at this are either the trainer or the veterinarian. So
good point.
So I thought, well, I like this industry. I love being around the horses. I like that whole feeling, the whole vibe, that, and so I kind of directed my career path to that. Through a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, I was able to get into vet school and come out. And so far, 21 years later, it's been a very nice career. I like doing what I do because I love working with the horses, but you also have to love the people that are, that are dealing with the horses. I've yet have a horse pay their bill. So, you need to have some rapport with the people that own horses and understand them and love them like you do. That kind of drew me to it. Everything else that's happened is just by happenstance, but it's so nice for me because I'm lucky. I have this wonderful job here in Ocala, which is a beautiful place to be. There's a ton of horses around, different kinds of horses, all different breeds that you can see and work on, and I appreciate that. The other part that I like is I like being able to go out, and I'm driving around all these different farms, and as I get older, I look around and I feel so blessed to be able to see what I see every day, and this is a beautiful part of the country, and there's beautiful parts of the country everywhere that have a lot of horses, so that's what I like. The people that you meet, I've been lucky enough to meet people that have shown their horses in the Olympics and have are famous around the world, and that's kind of cool.
So here's your bill, and can you autograph it, please?
Yeah, exactly. I try not to be that way, but yeah. There's been a few times, there's been a few times that I've been starstruck a time or two, and but that's cool. So and it's not just horse people. I've been in touch with other famous athletes that have happened to be horse owners. So you get that, and it's nothing against dogs and cats and the small cuddly animals, but I'd rather get kicked than bit.
Good one.
So, as far as that goes. So it's just kept me, that's what got me into it. That's what I love. Yeah, certainly the hours can be laborious and can be long and that sort of thing. And but I'm lucky enough that I have support from my family, and that allow me to do this and do what I love, and you know, it just helps out, and it truly is a labor of love. And I think you know, we certainly, none of us veterinarians get into this for thinking we're going to make $1 million or anything like that. That's not what we do it for. We do it for the love of the horses. We do it for the appreciation of what they give and what they do to people, and how they enrich their lives. And you know, that's what we do it for. So.
How do you feel when you save a horse's life and it's not looking good, and it makes that turnaround, and you know you played a part in that? How rewarding is that?
It's a relief. It's like, oh, thank God that went well. Because certainly we try, you know, we try a lot of times, and it makes you feel good, and the appreciation that you get from the owners and those that love that animal is second to none, for certain. But it's, you know, it doesn't work out all the time that way, but certainly when it is, you know, we say a little prayer, thank you, and glad that it works out, because it gives us, you know, makes us whole and makes us complete as far as that goes. And yeah, this is what we're doing, and this is why we do it.
Now, horses can be very challenging, and diagnosis can be challenging at times. So many symptoms horses have mimic other diseases, and it can be quite difficult when you kind of discover through examination, testing, in a variety of different ways. How do you feel when you figure out what's going on? Is that has to be a good feeling as well, because it's much harder, in my opinion, to be a vet than a doctor for people, because you can't ask the horse, where does it hurt? How do you feel? What's going on? I feel like that's more challenging, but then that challenge has to be kind of a wow achievement when you do discover what's going on.
No, absolutely. You know, it's kind of like putting a puzzle together. It's kind of a riddle, and you start with, you know, you try to get as much history as you can, and all these pieces come together. The history, what's the horse been doing, what happened, you know, everything behind that. How's the horse been acting since, you know, it's been abnormal or whatever. And you take all that, and then you take your diagnostic tools that we have, and we try to put them all together, and you come up with an answer. And a lot of times, don't always, but a lot of times you do. There's plenty of times where, like, we don't know, and unfortunately that does happen. But when it comes together with all the plans, and you're like, yes, this is, you know, it's a great feeling, and you feel like you're doing right by the animal and those that love it.
So overall, you would never go back and do anything different than what you did?
No, looking back, I would not. You know, it worked out great. I was this close to being a human dentist. Like, I was this close.
Ooh, teeth, no.
I was this close to being an orthodontist.
No people teeth and no people feet. Yeah. No way.
So it was, you know, whenever you go into this profession, it's always good to have a backup plan, because it's very hard to get into veterinary school, and if that doesn't work out. And I wasn't a 4.0 student at all. I had a ton of experience, but I was like touching, you know, mid 3 to 3 to 4, you know, and so I needed a backup plan. But as it all turned out, I'm here, and it worked out well.
So Dr. Cayot didn't have to be a 4.0 student, doesn't have to sit in an office all day long, gets to drive around beautiful farms, save horses' lives, and meet famous people and famous horses. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, it's pretty good gig. I'll take it.
That's an amazing career, and 21 years later, you're still a very happy man in the job that you do.
A little grayer, but happy. Yeah.
And you can't do much better than working at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and being the vet for HITS, Horse Shows in the Sun. So that's got to be a great experience too.
Oh, it is. You know, that opportunity opened up for me last year, and we continued on this year. Tom Strazzeri that runs the HITS program reached out to us. I thought it a great opportunity, because that's what I grew up doing, showing hunters and jumpers, and that's kind of my wheelhouse, so to speak. And it's been a great experience, and I hope to continue doing it for a while.
Wonderful. Dr. Adam Cayot, the reason to be a large animal vet, and many of those there are. So we certainly hope you'll consider this career. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television. This portion of the show is presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And our TV broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Supporting sponsors are DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip LLC, Piranha, Florida HVAC Services, Crystal Cryo, Ocala Dog Ranch, and The Drinking Post. Crystal Cryo offers cryo skin facials, cryo slimming, and cryo toning, all non-invasive with no skin damage, no discomfort, no recovery time, and cryo offers a healthier alternative for anti-aging, boost collagen, and freeze fat cells. Check them out now at crystalcryo.net. Crystal Cryo, a beauty spa specializing in body contouring to enhance confidence with self-care, one body at a time.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses! Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, Piranha.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with Dancing Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship. And we have a special guest in the studio with us, top U.S. rider, Callan Solem. Callan, thank you for being here with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I know you've had a very busy season.
Oh, yeah.
You've had a lot going on. And you took the time, I don't even know how long ago, I guess it was a couple months ago now, but you took the time. It was lovely that you came to talk to us at HITS.
Oh, thank you.
When we brought the CEP's Equine Initiative group out there.
Absolutely.
And we had a mixture of probably, I don't know, probably 60-40 or so. About 60% of them weren't horse people necessarily. But they've been learning through the CEP's Equine Initiative about horses, so thank you so much that HITS organised that, and we had you and a course designer as well, which was great. So we got a kind of a little bit of, both sides of that, which was great. So we really appreciate that. And I know now, taking the time, things are not as crazy quite as they were. At
we
least.
just finished the circuit,
HITS, the Grand Prix was Grand Prix was exciting, wasn't it?
It was wonderful. Marina Aceveda built. She was the course designer. She did a beautiful job.
It was tough, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was perfect though. She had exactly the right amount clear. Those who jumped clear did a beautiful job. It was a very good class. Yeah.
It was lovely seeing Lisa.
She did a great job. Yeah,
she did a phenomenal job. All of us were like, "Oh, but Andre's still got to go."
Right.
It was good. It was it was great.
A good class.
So tell us about you. How old were you when you started riding?
I started riding when I was about 10. And we had gone on vacation, like to the beach on vacation, and did one of those beach rides that
was
everybody
it.
does. Yeah. And I came back from that, and I said, I want to do this. I really want to do it. And so,
there you are.
What a cutie! Look.
I was a late bloomer for sure.
Is that a little pony?
It is. Yeah, that was my first pony. She was, I think, like 23 there or something, and her name was Jasmine, and she was a wonderful pony. But look how happy I look. I sure did love riding.
Where is this?
That's at Wills Park in Atlanta.
I know that.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
Yeah, lots of good people started at Wills Park.
Little, is that a Welsh?
No, she was 3/4 Arabian, 1/4 thoroughbred.
Oh,
nice. And didn't do any part of a lead change. So
ponies have a mind of their own for sure.
She was a genius, though. She was great.
So did you have your dreams that you have now back then?
I did. I really, I absolutely. It actually gives me goosebumps. Yeah, I did. I really. One of my trainer back then, who Michelle Menkins, who worked for Fox Hollow, which is Claudia Rowland's, her farm, and her father ran it at the time. But Michelle was my beginner teacher, and she sent me when I was on the short list for the Olympics in 2016. Michelle sent me a Christmas card that I had written her when I was like 12, saying that it was like, some gift that I'd given her, and I said, but hold on to this card because I think I'm going to be in the Olympics. I think this is going to be very valuable one day.
Cool.
So you should. So we were laughing about that. Yeah,
it's so cool that she kept it. I keep
it was
cards
so sweet,
because you never know. You know, you might one day be like, "Hey, I really wish I had that card," and then you have it. And
but it's amazing those people. I mean, she was able to nurture that and ignite the fire in me to want to keep doing it. So it's like those people are so important, because if you start riding and it's a disaster, it's over before it starts. So
I know that's true. I had a couple of harsh riding instructors,
Did you?
and if I hadn't loved horses so much,
Yeah.
I would have given up because they were pretty harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got yelled at a lot.
No.
Yeah. Me and my naughty pony.
That's how you learn.
That is, though. Yeah, but they're not always, they're not always sweet. Sometimes they're really tough on you.
Yeah, but I sure did love it right from the
loved
beginning.
it, yeah.
Yep.
And in Atlanta, so not probably nearly as many options as somewhere like here to go and.
Right, yeah. And I was an only child, so I had a lot of pets. Like we had a bunch of dogs and goats and whatever. The part about animals that the horse sport brought, I was really. That part I was good at, because I could communicate with them in that way, just from growing up just with them basically as like most of my company.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe I was a little ahead of the game on certainly some
I was
things.
the middle kid that got dropped at the barn at 7 o'clock in the morning, left there till 7 o'clock at
Yeah.
night. So I got really good with the horse personality myself, because I
Right.
spent most of the time with them, which not complaining.
No,
Because
exactly. They are so
squabbling,
genuine.
yes, they
so
are. Squabbling
honest.
with my brother and sister was the other option. So,
Yeah,
like,
boo,
horses,
boo,
much better.
right?
Yes, much better. Hours with horses as a child, there is nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
It's just quality. And it does help you learn, not in a teaching necessarily environment, just time spent with them and watching their behavior. And
Well, right, but I mean, even like you were talking about Magic earlier, the pony that came to the thing, and I mean, there's a reason that they use horses for therapy, that they're mirrors to us, and if and again, like nature made them to follow a leader. Like if one horse in the herd sees something and is alarmed, and the other horses don't follow, those are the ones that get eaten.
Exactly.
So it really,
Thank you.
It really
Yes.
reflects what kind of a leader that you are, and I think that's a little bit under taught as far as like in riding, just that it was about being a good leader and what that means, about being confident and about being clear and about the most important
C's,
part.
the 4 C's. What are the 4
Calm, connected, confident, and communicating.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
That's more important than the goal.
Absolutely, because I mean, you could teach a horse to change its lead by pulling on its left ear if you did it that way every time. I mean, training them to do things is not. That's sort of an art. I mean, you can do that a million different ways, but keeping them safe is the most important thing to them. And if they feel safe, I mean, for the same reason people rode horses into cannon fire and battle and whatever. If you can inspire courage in a horse, they'll die for you, which certainly none of us ever want. But
No,
but
but you're
really,
right. You're 100% right. War horses,
Right.
millions of them died in the First World War. And you think
Absolutely.
about, they were the main, like.
Yeah, and what was the book, The Perfect Horse, when they saved all the
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great book.
And
also.
that is so true about horses, about how you think about them running into war. Into, like you said, a battlefield with guns and cannons and everything else,
Right.
and they did it,
Right.
and it wasn't because they were forced into it, it was
or because they wanted to
No.
even, but because
They
of
leader.
the leadership.
Yeah. Gosh,
And
that's everything. I've got
yeah.
goosebumps.
It is, but it's also, but it's like you don't trust a leader who is not honest and is not real. And I think being, like that's why, like I feed the horses myself. I interact with them a lot in the day, more probably than some top Grand Prix riders do, just because it's important to me that they understand that I'm an ally. And so if
you want a relationship as opposed
right.
to just
and
jumping on them to ride.
Exactly, and you make deposits into that relationship by making sure that they're sound, making sure that they're emotionally doing well, that they're
this is so good
physically
for my other show.
physically doing well,
right?
Whatever,
Yeah.
and then you can make a withdrawal from that bank for a big class, for like the Grand Prix on Sunday last week.
Because you made the deposits,
right? But because when then it brings you to like the championship level. That also the end of that spectrum is that when the answer to the question is always going to be yes, you have to be careful of the question. That you have to then make sure that you're not asking a horse to do something that he'll do, that it's not right for him. So that's also, I think, where, at some point, if we're lucky enough and work hard enough, you get to a place in sport where you have to decide if the horse is more important to you or the sport is more important to you.
Amen.
And it's just going to be the horse to me every time.
You are so spot on. That was like...
I paid her.
I was actually going to say I wrote that.
I didn't get any money. I don't. Maybe it didn't come yet.
No, didn't come yet. Checks in the mail. That sound means we do have to go to break, but we'll be coming right back with the second half of the show, and we have Callan with us, so we love that. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever heard of a horse that can talk? Listen to this. With your host, Louisa Barton. She's literally in love with every horse. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. She's back in the saddle again. And now, here's your host,
Pretty.
Louisa Barton! She's a Brit, she's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system. Powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
The Equine Performance and Innovative Centre, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centres for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specialising in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with my co-host, Dancing Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship. We hope he's off crutches soon and back dancing in no time. And no, he doesn't have a great horse story. You have heard about the splits. Yes. Had to get a mention in for that. I've told him not to ever do it again. We have had the honor of a visit from Callan Solem. I met her at HITS a couple months ago. She's been telling us a little bit about growing up, and actually we got off topic beautifully because we actually talked about one of my favorite subjects, and I love her outlook and her way of handling horses and understanding them and putting that as a priority over and above the sport.
Ribbon.
Yeah, the ribbon or the trophy or the check.
And just keeping in mind, I don't like losing any more than anybody else. I really don't.
But the biggest loss is the trust of the horse and the relationship with the horse.
Yeah.
And when you push them
and
too
for
far.
everything, there's a season. And again, like I said, you have to make some deposits before you can make big withdrawals.
Yes, that's really true. Actually, it makes me think of when I was talking to Andre Thiem at Live Oak International. He said they pushed a horse, to the Olympics that wasn't ready, and she wasn't ready, and she didn't do well. And now, a year or so later, however, a couple of years later, whatever it's been, now she's doing now he wouldn't mind taking her back and doing that with her, but it was too soon. And when that happens, through nobody's fault, it just timing wise, when you wait and the horse is ready, it's going to give you everything, when you've got that relationship. So
and
I love
that.
that.
Also goes with the humans too.
Yes, humans as well. You can apply. Yes, definitely.
Too hard yourself.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
so true.
Burned out quickly.
Yeah.
Tell us about some of your major accomplishments. You've done some Nations Cups and being on the shortlist for the Olympics. That's massive. But share with us some of that, and we're actually going to enjoy a little watching as well. Yes.
This is the last round of the World Cup Finals in Gothenburg, Sweden, in 2016.
Wow.
And this is VDL Wizard. And we finished as the seventh as the top American placing rider, and I was also the highest placing woman in that year also. It was a great event, and we had just the best. We had the best time. It was my first championship, and this horse is we'd had him since the owners bought him for me when he was 7, and I think he was maybe 15 at this point, and so we had a long relationship, and it was really a dream come true.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
yes, I've read about this horse and about your bond. And
he loved, the bigger the crowd, the more he liked it. The more
like
people,
the ham, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. In Gothenburg, they stomp the floor a lot when you come in. That's just like the tradition in the Scandinavian.
Oh, really?
In that arena.
Do they?
And he absolutely loved it. He was like,
he felt like
he was like,
center of attention. I'm here.
Yeah.
Yes, hello fans, I'm here. Oh, he's beautiful.
He's wonderful.
Yeah,
that was a horse of a lifetime for sure.
Yes, gosh, those are amazing.
Doing that at 15.
Yeah, he's happily retired in Pennsylvania. He's doing great, and so I'm so happy for that. This was at the Hampton Classic. This was a wonderful mare that won a lot, and she jumped the Belgian championships before I had her, but she was excellent, very brave, and a good horse. Those big venues are just they're just so much fun. They're so exciting, and it's a great.
And this horse's name is?
This was Jasmine van der Renthoven. And
she is brave.
Yeah, she's wonderful. She was by the stallion Douglas VDL, who I don't know if anybody's seen, but that iconic VDL picture where he's jumping over the car. That's her. Yeah, that's her. And the man who rode her, rode Douglas in that picture is one of my best friends, and he found this horse, and also Wizard and to Orlando, and some of my best horses have come from him.
That's great to have that connection when you can count on somebody that likes the same
kind
that you look for.
He's like a big brother to me. He's very and I actually exciting. We just got a new horse through him, who is going to start the Grand Prix with me. I'll do WEC this summer a little bit, and
we can come and cheer you
Yeah,
on.
he'll be at the horse park. It'll be my first class with him. Will be at the horse park next week. So
I'm coming to watch.
It's going to be great. His
what
name
day is that?
Wednesday next
Wednesday.
week, but he'll show a couple days that week. But his name is Incognito.
Incognito.
So yeah, we're so excited about him, and he just flew over a few weeks ago, and he's just doing great. So, but again, I didn't go over and try him because of how much I trust this man, and how
That's fantastic. That saves you so much.
It surely does, and he knows what I do well. What my best partner is going to look like, and so that's really so important. This is a wonderful horse called Flash. Actually, Ludger Beerbaum has this horse. I know Ludger just had sort of a bad fall, so he. I think he broke his hip maybe not too long ago, but he had this horse most recently to ride, and it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful horse. He was I don't know if you can really tell, but he was like almost 18 hands. He was just such a big guy,
yes.
but just absolutely wonderful. I love
And you
him.
ride him well, because a lot of times when you see a bigger horse that's used to being ridden by a man, you find that sometimes a lighter female, struggles more because they're strong. Yeah, but this is nice to see how well you handled that.
Yeah,
So do you prefer the dirt or the grass?
I think the cocks are, I think, a little bit hard for them just in general. Like, I think it's a little bit of torque on their hocks and stuff like that. So I prefer if they didn't have to have cocks, which they need in the grass. So I guess for that reason, I would pick the turf. And also just being relevant to current top sport. There aren't so many places other than maybe Aachen that still have grass.
It's
like
nice at
those
Live Oak
places-
International when they have that Grand Prix
exactly, like a lot
and
of,
everybody says they love that.
Right, a lot of venues have switched to all weather footing, just so that, like the Hamptons also was a beautiful grass field. Even that video we just saw, it was when it was still grass, but it's now sand.
Yeah. Because they can control it much more.
Right,
And if
exactly.
it's
And to
really
make
good quality,
sure-
like what's happened at Hits, is phenomenal.
Absolutely, yeah. That was Wardley, Martin Sharon Wardley did the footing there, and it's amazing. It's such a big improvement, and the horses, it can be like a trampoline for them, where they really get good experiences, and I think the good turf, like I jumped the Nations Cup in Jalapa in Mexico at Copexpan, and that was probably the best turf that I had ever jumped on. They actually imported that from Ireland, and it was was tremendous. It really was. It was actually like a springboard. Like they ended up having to make the track so big because the horses just jump beautifully.
Wow.
So
That
I
really
think,
makes a difference.
like anything else, if you do it well, I think
You can
either,
do either if you
right,
do it well,
but
right?
it has to be done well.
Yeah. So what's top of your bucket list now?
Well,
Here you are, got your own business now in the horse capital of the world. We love that.
I'm trying to make a living here a little bit, but no, but I do. I really am so grateful for just the interactions with the horses that I have, and interacting with people who want to follow the sort of a similar value system. So I'm excited about that. I had Don Doran. Are you familiar with him?
Hold that thought for me. Okay. We're going to let you finish that when we come back.
Okay.
We're going to keep her for the beginning of the next segment so we can... Maybe we'll just keep her for the whole segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equigreen, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center. Having an air conditioner that works well in Florida is a must. Experience peace of mind by working with Florida HVAC Services, a family-owned and operated company taking pride in always putting their customers first, providing air conditioner repair, installation, and maintenance services on all makes and models. For those suffering from allergies or asthma, air quality testing is recommended and hospital-grade air filters are available. Ask about a pure air filtration system today. Check them out at flhvacservices.com or like them on Facebook. Florida HVAC Services, serving all of North Central Florida with honesty, integrity, and the highest value of workmanship. And that's 100% guaranteed.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses! Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, Piranha.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equigreen with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equigreen came to life. Equigreen, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our TV broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Dancing Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship is in the studio with us, and we've been actually chatting to a top US rider, Callan Solem, and this segment was actually going to be all Expo, but we are going to finish up the answer to this important question, and then we're going to ask her if she'll stay and comment on some of what we did at the Expo, because we think that's very cool, and we think she'll love it. And actually, the more I talked to her, the more I realized she should have been here for the Expo. She'd have been fantastic.
Yes.
So we were asking you. We started off with, I think we were on bucket list, and then we kind of expanded out a little bit.
Right. I just said I really I want to do a good job for horses. You know, it's like they say, learn, earn, and return. And I would like to give.
Learn, earn, and return.
I'm happy to. I also, to be at the top of any sport, you have to make a lot of sacrifices, and I traveled a lot, and so I'm happy to be in Ocala, and this between WEC and HITS, like, it's such a tremendous opportunity to be able, you could produce a horse in this town that could jump anywhere in the world. And so I'm excited to sleep in my own bed at night, and I really do enjoy. I didn't know, because I'd never not traveled 40 something weeks a year, so but I'm happy. I have a boyfriend. You have a dog. I was
going to say, you probably have a four-legged, right?
Yeah. Some life things, but I'm so excited to be in a place where I can still do the work that I do and produce horses to the top level without,
traveling everywhere.
Living in a hotel room.
You really just actually kind of encapsulated what we are as the horse capital.
Yeah,
because no matter what breed you have, whether you want to ride the Greenway trails, you want to compete at HITS and WEC, or you want to train a thoroughbred to go to the racetrack, you actually can do it all here.
A lot of my friends...
Or play polo,
at Florida Horse Park.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
A lot of my friends, a lot of other Grand Prix riders that feel the same way, that it's just been such a life-changing experience to have all that this town offers, and to be able to do our work without driving 15 hours here and 22 hours there, and again, it's not that we won't ever, but just it's nice to do less of that.
It's nice to do less, to actually have a life and be in one pace and
be
able to do all of that.
And for the horses too, like to minimize the risk of travel, to minimize the all of the stress that comes along with all of that.
That's a lot.
It is.
Moving.
It is a lot. Yeah.
Because, there's the... sometimes you end up having to change hay companies, and if
Right.
you don't take everything with
if
you,
don't
and
bring
then
Larson
you've got to
hay
find
with you.
That's right, you're in trouble,
Which
right?
you can't always if you're going to go forever. but-
Exactly, and that traveling so many months a year, it makes me think of like Rudy, used to work for Budweiser for 10 years, and he was on the road not that that's not exciting to work for Budweiser and be on the road, but
and
how many years can you do it?
Exactly, and
before
I
you're
don't regret any of it. I loved it. I don't regret a second that I spent, but to everything there's a season, and I prefer to stay a little bit closer to home now. But it's also a good. This town offers so much to owners of horses too, and because it costs so much to produce top show jumpers, which is why they're expensive, which is why but to be able to be here and where they're not getting $1,000 shipping bill to go to a show, that you can go down the road and come back, and nobody has to be in a hotel, and so it's not a $3,000 hotel bill that you have to split up at the end of it. It can be a lot more affordable, which I think is a nice offering for people who want to support the sport, especially like the Grand Prix and the top level. It's great.
Yeah, and access as far as learning, people coming
Right.
up that are
Yeah.
younger, making
There's
it
so
more
many
affordable.
good people here now
There
too,
are.
with Richard Spooner and Will Simpson, all those guys from California. Todd's up here, Minicus is up here a lot. Tracy Finney and Dory Douglas are here. Scott Keach and
Scott
Andre
just came second in the.
he did such a
I
good
fell in
job.
love with
didn't he?
Roger
Oh,
the
so-
horse.
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Roger, that's his barn
did a
name.
great
Surprise,
job.
you got
No, he was awesome.
And
He was awesome.
David Cameron, also the Australian guy, he jumped
Yeah.
clear. Also, he
Yeah.
did a beautiful job. It was super.
This is for you.
Oh, thank you.
Sometimes it's cis. No, it's not. This is your Piranha bag of goodies.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we
you.
even have a lip chip. You can have a lip chip cap for bad hair days, which are all
Perfect.
of mine lately.
Perfect.
If you want, we've got some of those. But stay with us, because one of the things that we were just talking about, which is relevant, is young people coming up and being able to access a sport that maybe is not accessible to them, and access horses that may not be. Only 1 in 28 children in Marion County, on average, get a chance to meet a horse or touch a horse, which is very sad. But we're trying to change that, and the expo last week was part of that, as well as learning about the different careers that there are within the equine industry, whether it's a veterinarian or farrier, horse rider, trainer, or whether it's just a child who wants to meet a horse in a non-intimidating environment, something that gentle carousel miniature therapy horses do very well.
Book.
That's in a book, where here's the book, the book, and there's the horse, and so you get to see the book, and then you get to meet the horse, which is really
I'd have been
cool.
all about that. when I was
Oh,
a
are
kid.
you kidding me? I'd have wanted. Oh, I'd had to have the book.
Yeah.
So the expo last week was a fantastic opportunity for that, and we want to share a little bit of that with you. Some of the opportunities. That's actually Gigi Velvet Doll from the Gypsy Gold Farm Tour, which is the #1 thing to do in North Central Florida, and the #7 thing to do in the entire state of Florida, including the Disney parks, is to go to the Gypsy Gold Farm Tour, and it's a phenomenal tour. I've done it several times, and that is one of their horses. This is Dr. Adam Cayot, who was actually on the show on the second segment there. That is me filming. And he is actually performing a dental float here on one of the Florida mounted horses. And after the demonstration, he answers quite a lot of questions about what this process is all about. And there were lots of really, really great questions from some of the younger people in reference to what this is about, how often you need to do it. And so that was a great learning experience. And actually, I think the tech has a lip chip cap on right there as well, just because. We also had a farrier demo. Samuel Rodriguez was here with us, a great young man who was very excited to share some of the details of having shoes put on a horse and trimming, and how much hoof should come off, where and why. And he went through a lot of those details for people, so there was a couple of opportunities there. There is Samuel. Yes, wonderful young man. Did an absolutely fantastic job. I actually met him at the Equine Performance and Innovative Center with Dr. Rilan, who told me he was a fantastic farrier, especially for corrective type issues, horses with laminitis, that kind of thing. But he did a great job, and he answered lots of questions about the trimming and the shoeing process. So we got to see that actually in action, which was wonderful. It was a great opportunity, and asked lots of wonderful questions. We had a lip chipping with Brad from Lip Chip, which is phenomenal technology, putting a microchip into the lip of a horse where it can be scanned and you can check temperatures without going in the stall. Temperature stores right in your phone or the app on your laptop or your iPad. Lots of chances for people to meet horses, young people to pet horses and ask questions about them and learn about them, which was great. And we also had a saddle fitting demonstration with Philip from Equine Saddle Fit. He's a great guy. He was eager to explain about how important saddle fit is, and we didn't know, a long time ago when I was a kid. We didn't know how important that was, but that can affect the performance and comfort of the horse significantly. So, absolutely. All good stuff. That sound meant we have to go to break again. Already. I can't believe it. I guess I should.
This is like.
I know, this is like the fastest show ever, right? We'll be back in just a minute on the Horse Talk Show. Stay with us.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equigreen, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment this week of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Dancing Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship, Louisa Barton, and we have Callan Solem, who has been in the studio with us. We managed to rope her in to stay until the end, which was fantastic. She's been amazing. Dancing Pete has his tip of the week.
Dancin Pete's tip of the week, brought to you by Complementary Horsemanship. I used to be able to do that.
You did before you did the splits.
So, tip of the week, have a goal with no agenda. And what that means is you can have big dreams just like you did, meaning no agenda, meaning it might not happen this week, it might not happen for 10 years, but you're still going to it. So that way the horse gets to be where it needs to be for when you get there. Perfect. So that was my tip of the week.
I like very it. Good. It's perfect. Yeah, it's very important. And one of the things that I absolutely love, Callan and I have quite a few things in common we were talking about, but one of the things I really loved talking to her about during the show is putting the horse first. And I love that because, you know, we all want to do well and accomplish and win.
Yeah,
but
and success follows that. It
does,
really does.
doesn't it?
It's just, but it's like sometimes it's like leap and the net will appear. Versus some, you have to take care of them first sometimes before you get the, like you're talking about, to meet the goals that you want. But
yeah, it really matters. And
it does.
You know, we had Elle Woolley. I don't know if you ever met Elle. She's a dressage rider, but we had her at the expo. She's a para dressage rider who's overcome so many things. But she talked about a lot of that. You know, that not just, I mean, the horse obviously is really important, but that power of positive thinking is also
and enjoying
huge.
the process. You know, if you can't, it's more process than victory gallops for sure. And if you can't enjoy the process, you're not going to be super happy.
That's so true.
The process does not look like the product.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And that's the hard part.
I think we might have a few more cute little things from the expo to show you before we wrap up, actually, with our recap. Those are Mangalaga Marchadors. That is actually Jacinto Vasquez, who was the only jockey to ever beat Secretariat. And he beat Secretariat twice, and that's him sitting on the National Horse of Brazil in downtown Ocala. So,
cool.
I think that's pretty cool. And those are both stallions. There, very well behaved stallions that have definitely been put to the, that's Claudia right there, standing there very nicely with that Larson Hay and that FEI stabling. Thank you so much to Clayton Fredericks, our silver medalist eventer, who actually allowed us to use the barn and sent a team.
He has great tents.
He
absolutely.
does. I mean, look at that. Yes. And that sparkle from Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy Horses watching Equus Television. Wrong show, though.
Yeah, how could they dare have the picture
In the
there?
Fortner Farms classroom. And look, checking it, watching the television with the Equine Initiative banner. I mean, that's so perfect, right? I mean, what a great... and celebrating the Fortner Farms girls who actually are Youth Reserve World Champion and Youth World Champion. And there's Elle.
Oh,
and
on the right?
Yes, that's Elle. She's the para dressage rider, and that's Cynthia Vasquez, and that's Michelle Fortner of Fortner Farms and Sisters Restaurant in Williston.
Oh, that's such a good restaurant.
I knew you would know.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's a very good
So
restaurant.
she's the owner. So when you go in, you can say, I saw you on TV.
Oh, perfect. I'll do it.
We'll have to have lunch there.
Yes.
That's my favourite place
Do
for
it.
breakfast and lunch. I love it. Nah, who's that guy?
That's me.
That's Dancing Pete Rodda in the middle of the ring there, managing to walk without crutches. That's impressive. Look at you. And that lovely horse is River. Yes, and Gigi really liked River. Gigi was like, I like that horse.
I got River when she was 2.5, never been touched. And I've been putting lots and lots of time with her. She's taught me more than any other horse. And she's probably the smartest horse I've ever met.
Look how much she's regarding you there.
Yes. She's regarding him.
And I kind of made her mad, I guess.
She's definitely regarding you there, but she is beautiful, and it was a great opportunity for people to learn about horsemanship, and really a fantastic overall event. I think everybody got either a chance to touch a horse, learn some about horse, be around horses, and then see the wonderful parade at the end around the downtown, which, that's a nice little horse right there. That's Froto, the fat one, who actually was our little fundraiser for the Ocala Farm Ministry. They were our charity this year, and actually little Froto raised $248 for the Ocala Farm Ministry, yes, being petted all day, so he got rid of his donkey attitude for a little bit there, I think. And then we had the national anthem sung absolutely beautifully by Tricia. She did an amazing job.
A lot better than me, huh?
A lot better than you, yes, you tried. And Wendy did a fantastic job carrying the flag for us. And what a lovely picture that is by the Piranha truck that's actually wrapped with a American flag. So it was beautiful. And there was the mounted unit were there with us as well to do the parade. And of course, absolutely, we always love to have Big Horse Ranch there. That's me driving. Oh, that's scary. Yeah, that's me driving. You can't see me driving, can you? Yes, he gave me the reins.
You're driving.
I'm driving. I love driving. I never thought I'd love driving, but I love driving. It's so... It's just so... They do have cup holders. You're right. They got cup holders. But gosh, Big Horse Ranch, the Helmuth family, they are absolutely fantastic. So we are going to play the recap for you. Thank you to Callan Solem. She's actually be back on May 2nd. So happy horsing around. Here's the recap of the expo. We hope you enjoyed it.
The Equine Industry Expo, presented by Quantum Fiber, was a huge success, showcasing all that we are in the horse capital of the world, Ocala, with horse breeds in the FEI stabling exhibit, including Stewie, a fun, friendly, and winning Arabian, a champion Pasifino, Impacto, who demonstrated their beautiful, smooth gait for us, safely and efficiently delivered by Brookledge Horse Transportation, and a sweet, endearing Gypsy Vanna, Gigi Velvet Doll from the Gypsy Gold Farm Tour. All ages enjoyed this opportunity to learn about a variety of breeds, from miniature horses to Clydesdales, Mangalaga Marchadors, and more. A top farrier, Samuel Rodriguez, educated us in careers in equine podiatry, shoeing one of the Florida Mounted Unit's horses, followed by Dr. Adam Cayot, floating a horse's teeth, answering lots of great questions. Then Brad from Lip Chip microchipped a Clydesdale, and Dancing Pete Rodda taught the crowd all about horsemanship. And then there was the Fortner Farms classroom, which was full of more top equestrians, veterinarians, and even a Hall of Fame jockey. It would not have been a true horse capital event without big horse carriage rides provided by Larson Hay, with great vendors, food trucks, and other wonderful fun activities, plus lots of chances to take photos with horses. To close out the expo, we enjoyed a beautiful rendition of the national anthem and an enjoyable all-breed parade around the downtown market. Thank you so much to all of our supporting sponsors for making this fantastic fun and educational event free to attend for all ages. In the horse capital of the world, we recognize how important the equine industry is, especially to future generations. This event is part of the CEP's Equine Initiative, presented by Piranha, without whom none of this would be possible. This Equine Industry Expo recap brought to you by the Equine Initiative, presented by Piranha, the Horse Talk Show, and Larson Hay. I'm Louisa Barton, Director of the CEP's Equine Initiative and host and executive producer of the Horse Talk Show.